Cheryl Martin's day starts like many of ours. A quick coffee, a chat with her wife about the day ahead.
Have you thought about dinner?
And then off to work on her property an hour east of Adelaide.
Get myself sorted. Yeah.
That's where things get a little less familiar. Because the former dairy farmer, fruit grower and hardware store worker decided to go in a rather unusual career direction.
I was looking for something a bit more that I could do from home because I like to work for myself. I was looking for something a bit quirky.
She found it. This is Cheryl's rat farm, which she bought 8 years ago and has since scaled up. Despite ticking the right boxes, it initially took a bit to warm to.
I thought I'd made a bad decision. I actually said to Fiona, I think I've made a mistake because it was quite smelly and, yeah, it put me off my food. But once everything was clean, it was fine.
While these night owls are more laid back during the day, Cheryl admits she was scared to handle them at the start.
I thought they were going to bite me. Gradually, I learnt that they weren't going to jump out and they were quite tame. And there was only a few road ones that actually bit me to start with, but they were moved on pretty quickly.
One thing she has found out the hard way is maintaining the housing is as important as looking after the residents. So have you had any escapees?
Yes. Yes, short answer. I've had about 80 escape from one tank at one stage through a hole. They'd chewed through the hole, and if they do get out, they generally chew the water lines because they're looking for water, and that makes a mess. That makes a real mess.
She says with baiting around the shed, they don't go much further. While it's no secret most farmers are not fans of rodents, there are plenty of people who do want what Cheryl is producing, to feed their pet reptiles.
So is it a case of one size fits all?
No, there's about 10 sizes.
It's more than I expected. What's that?
So this is a little pinky, which is about a day old.
That's got a market.
For little snakes.
Okay.
And then we go up to velvets, and then the next one is hoppers, which is, they're called hoppers because they're...
They move. Okay,
they're hoppy.
Yep.
And these are our extra large jumbos.
How big are they?
He's about 400 grams.
And are they in demand?
Yes, they are for pythons.
Whoa.
Big ones.
Rats are notoriously efficient breeders, with a gestation of 23 to 26 days, litters of up to 18 pups, and the ability to do it all again straight away. While that can create headaches in the wild, it's good for business.
Over the years, I've learnt that I can ramp it up and ramp it down pretty quickly, which is, yeah, it's way better than beef and sheep, which take a long time.
And she can do it all on her own. But while the hours are flexible, the job does come with some downsides.
Just the cleaning, the shoveling, that is repetitive, dealing with rat shit, if I can say that.
Then there's the processing. The rats are gassed with food-grade carbon dioxide. It's quick but confronting.
That's the hardest part of the job, is the processing. I need to be in the mood. If I'm not in the mood for that, I won't do it. I don't think killing anything is humane or, you know, a good thing, so I try to do that as best I can.
Presentation is an important part of the business for safety and sales.
And I lay them out with their tails between their legs, tuck their feet in so that I don't get injured from frozen rats in the freezer because their claws hurt. But presentation in the shop seems to be a big part of people buying a rat. I don't want them to look stressed. I want to respect them. So these are some females I'm keeping for breeding.
And are you looking for anything in particular from your breeders?
Yeah, I'm looking for good growth at the weaner stage and temperament so that they don't jump out the box.
While this is a business first, Cheryl enjoys the antics and personalities of her little livestock, with one even graduating to pet status.
I did have one through COVID. I bought a cage and there was Dave, his name was. He was really cute when he was little and I thought, oh, OK, I'm gonna keep one for COVID.
So when people say to you, you know, what do you do for a living, what do you say?
It depends where I am. It's if I don't want to have to talk much, I'll say, oh, we've just, you know, live on a bit of a property with some sheep. If it's somewhere that I want to have a good chat and think they might be interesting people and cope with it, I'll say, oh, actually, I'm a rodent farmer. What?
What's the most common question you get asked?
A big one is, have you ever eaten rats? Which I have now.
And?
It's better than chicken. It's got more flavour than chicken than we eat normally. But it's a lot of work for not much. A bit like eating quail.
It passed the taste test, but she's not tempted to move into the human consumption market anytime soon, with the rats doing just fine as pet food.
For me, it's great. It's the most money I've made farming, I guess. If I spend $1, I get $4 back. But I don't count my hours in that. I think that's farming. Farmers never count their hours of what we work. But I love my lifestyle.
That work-life balance got a lucrative shake-up during COVID lockdowns, when pet reptile sales took off.
I was processing every week to fulfil my orders. I was quite stressed. Stressed in a good way because I made a lot of money, I guess, that year, but it was full on.
Not far from Cheryl's farm at Murray Bridge is someone who knows a thing or two about reptiles and what they like to eat. From the little to the not so little.
So who are you feeding with this big number?
Oh, Mr. Whippy.
Oh, Mr. Whippy. Is he a pleasant soul?
Well, he can be,
Yeah?
but not normally.
How venomous is he?
He's the third most venomous snake in the world.
Excellent, excellent. And how hungry is he?
Very, very. He hasn't eaten since late December, so just after Christmas. So he's going to absolutely chomp on this one.
I'm just going to back off because I'm actually quite scared of snakes. You just go for it.
OK, no worries.
Julian Craig is an expert snake handler and educator. He owns around 80 of the most venomous snakes in the world and has to make sure he has the right-sized meals to keep them all well nourished.
There he is.
Kindly, he saves the non-venomous python, called Jaws, for the reporter with a snake phobia.
Now, if you want to grab the tongs,
Yeah.
nice and tight,
not.
nice and tight.
Okay.
And then if you just come in here and just reach down there and just offer it to him. Just put it in front of his head. Just let him smell. There you go. That's it. Good.
Not exactly the smoothest delivery.
So how often does he get a feed?
Jaws fed probably monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not as often as people would think.
No. A lot of people overfeed their snakes, and so I tend to like to keep them a little bit leaner, so they don't build up fat reserves around the heart.
The rat's hard to get hold of?
Yeah, well, I'm lucky I've got a good supplier, a good local supplier. But there's people who live in country environments who really struggle, you know, to get a good supply, and they pay a real premium for it.
Would you breed them?
No way. No way. No way. It's a lot of work, and, you know, it requires a fair bit of expertise. I'll support a local supplier.
Back at the rat farm, Cheryl Martin is branching out into mice to fill a gap that's opened up in the market. But she's not sold yet.
They're a bit jumpy and they're smellier. The boys are quite smelly. I don't really like it, but I'm building up stock now, so we'll see how it goes.
As for the main part of the business, it's a low-profile agricultural industry that's not at the top of everyone's to-do list. But it's a consistent little earner that has set the 57-year-old up for retirement whenever that may be.
Shifting a rat is much better than shifting cows and sheep. It's something I can do well into my 70s if I needed to, yeah.